This is a headlight bulb for a Golf R, and that is a Golf R that has a headlight out. Now I know you came to this video looking to understand how to replace a headlight bulb on a Mark 7, and I'm here to give you news that you're not gonna like, and that means our bumper cover has to come off. The headlight bulb is right here, and this is your main headlight beam, and the cover for it is right back here, and there are Torx screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, that hold on this back cover. Now, in case you didn't notice, there's not a lot of space back there. I think there is a maybe possibility you could pull the fender liner off and get to it from the other side. The problem is it will be so much work and very hard to access, and you'll have a wheel in the way, and you'll be fighting with all that stuff to access it. It is so much easier just take the bumper cover off. I promise you. I know you're scared right now. Let me hold. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna start by removing our grill. There is Torx screws right here, T25, one there, one here. Pop it forward like that, and then pop it up. If you have a newer car, they come out differently, and so like we have a video on a Mark 7 bumper that we'll link to, but they come out way different on those cars. And they have a radar sensor in them, so there's like electronics and stuff back here, so don't break it. Torx screws here, 1, 2. We're gonna unclip these areas from the bumper or the core support, but not until we have the rest of it out. So we're taking out our screws in the fender liner here, and then there's a screw that goes up this way that holds the bumper to the fender. We're taking those out. That one there. If your key was in your ignition, you could turn your wheel and access this, but mine's not, so I have to use manual tools. We're gonna repeat the same thing on this side. And once you have those off, you can kind of pull the bumper cover out like this. There we go. We also need to make sure that's off on the bottom. Now, you're gonna have some screws in your fender liner, one here, that one's missing. We got one right here. You can kind of pull on the bumper cover. This is like the lower lip here. You can pull on it to see where it's hanging on. And you got one here. And again, one here and here. Because again, these are the fender liners. This is a screw that holds the lip on. So you don't need to take that one off. Feel this and kind of wiggle it, and it should be free. If you have headlight washers, which this car has, so you can see right there, or fog lights, this car does not have, which you can see right there. No fog lights. You will need to unplug those or unplug your headlight washers either before you do this or as you're doing this. So we are gonna pop our bumper cover off. It's grill support here. So I'm mostly just trying to release this stuff from their home. In case you, oop, there we go. Right here I have a roll cart. It's supporting my bumper cover. I'm not gonna remove this, and here's the main reason why. This washer fluid reservoir is filled with washer fluid. If I remove these washer fluid hoses from here, they will be a low point, and they will drain the entire bottle onto the floor. I don't want to drain the whole bottle of washer fluid onto the floor. So I'm gonna take the headlight out just like this, because now I can access everything I need to. Not for this headlight, for the other one though. So the first one we're gonna remove is gonna be this T30 screw. You can see this is on the fender, and it bolts into the side of the headlight. Now we have a screw down here by the fuse box, but it's in a similar location on the opposite side. And the way you can actually see it is there's a cutout in the cover that actually shows you kind of like a half moon. This is also a T30. Now this one right here, that one's also a T30, or it could be, I believe, a 13. Take that one out. And then this one last right here. Now, slide your headlight on out. So you have to push down on this tab right here, and it will release this connector from the headlight. That is often easy to say, hard to do. These headlights have been off not that long ago, so if yours haven't been and they're dirty, it's often very difficult to get off. You may want to try this before the headlight's unbolted, because you'll have more to wiggle on. The trick I did to get this off, I'll show you. I push this down like this, then I push down the tab to release it, then I pulled it off. So push down, you hear where it clicked. So when you push down, it allows it to release past the barb. You squeeze it, then you pull it, and then you're out. Part of the discussion around headlights. 2 of these are for the DRLs. So this headlight has dual LED DRLs. You can see there's a U shape there and a U shape there. Each one of those U's has its own DRL LED module, okay? So 2 of these are for that. 1 of these is for the igniter for the bulb, and 1 of these is a headlight module. So this one you can see right here, it says AFS, that's your headlight module. This one right here says D3S, this is your ballast for your headlight bulb. And when you have a headlight bulb out, it could be either the bulb or it could be this ballast. So what you want to do is find that out right now. T20 Torx, we're going to pull these off, these 4 screws, 5 of them, sorry. Thought there was only 4. Okay, there we go, like that. And we have an OSRAM bulb there. You do not want to knock this off the adjuster, because if you do, you will damage it. So I'm going to twist this lock right here, and there's a tab on either side, and we're going to go typical counterclockwise, like that. Released it, great, cool. Now we got our bulb. So we're going to squeeze this connector, just like this, and then work this connector off, like that. I have clean gloves on now. As you can see, I was wearing dirty gloves moments ago. It's because touching these is a major issue, especially without gloves, because the oil from your fingers, if you touch this glass, will get on there, and as soon as this thing heats up to a ton of heat, attach to that oil and it will actually burn this bulb out almost instantly or very quickly. You can see on this one, this is the one that came out of the car, in the center, which is where the xenon gas is, it is all milky looking. It's not clear. If you look at this one, you can see it's all clear in the middle. This one, milky, that's because this is the bad one. Now that's how we know for sure the bulb we took out of our car is bad, is because of that. So D3S bulb, quality of bulb matters quite a bit when you in terms of buying the right bulb. Number 1, buying the right bulb is important, but number 2, buying a good quality bulb, because you will have a light output issue and a longevity issue if you do not get a good bulb. There is exceptionally cheap bulbs. If you wanted to buy a xenon bulb on like eBay and Amazon, you can probably buy a pair of them for like 25 or 30 bucks. They're trash. If you buy a good one from a company like Osram or Philips or those type of companies, they're gonna be probably about $70 to $100 for most quality xenon bulbs, some of them more expensive than that. So an Osram one that came out, this is a Philips one going back in. Philips is also a good quality brand. We sell them on shopthat.com. You can purchase them. Put in your vehicle. Then you can either type in bulb, xenon bulb, HID bulb, or you just go to the lighting section and look for bulbs. So we're going back in with our headlight bulb. You can see there's a cutout here and a cutout here. This one's like a half moon, that one's a rectangle. And they have orientations in the headlight. So that's where the rectangle goes, that's where the half moon goes. And you can see this plug tells you kind of where all that stuff is supposed to be. It only goes in one way, so you cannot put it in the wrong way, and you do not want to manhandle this whole thing, because if you do, you'll break this, something internally in the headlight, or a problem with the bulb, but especially a problem because if you break this, you will probably need to replace your headlight. You can put it in like that. Should be able to lock that back down, and then we can put our plug in. I actually don't know if I should have put the plug in first. So if you forget, like me, plug the bulb in first. Okay, push it back down, lock it in place, and then I'm not even gonna put this cover on. I'm gonna go test this headlight. Xenon bulbs and stuff like that put out extremely high voltage, so don't touch them. When they're operating, don't touch them. 80,000 volts to start an igniter on a xenon bulb, and then something like it maintains like 20,000 volts or something like that. The reason why they make that noise, like when like boom, so that's what you're hearing is the high voltage igniting the gas. Hear that noise? Now, if at this moment your headlight did not turn on, you need to swap the ballast from the other side to this side. You can also be prepared for your headlights no longer to match now that you've replaced one of the bulbs. Now we just got our cover put back on and we're gonna reinstall our headlight. But if that didn't work on your car and you are like, okay, what do I do now? My headlight still doesn't work. This module is the one you're looking at. you would want to take this off and swap it from side to side. Because they're the same modules from side to side, this will allow you to test to make sure that this module is actually what you need, because this is not cheap and this is not easy to get. So this allows you to diagnose it. You can either buy the bulb first and then replace it and see, or you can just swap parts around first and see if that's the problem as well. I've empowered you with everything you need to buy the parts from us, shopdaft.com, for all your bulb needs, all your Xenon, Volkswagen, Audi parts, including bulbs needs, and more. I'm gonna put this car back together.